You walk in the front door. The lights are dim, the television hums low, and everything feels as it should. There on the couch sits your partner, or maybe your child. The posture is familiar. The room feels safe. But then they turn to look at you, and something is wrong. Their blink is just a little too slow. Their smile arrives half a second late. Their skin looks strange, too smooth, too still. Your breath catches. That's not them. Something inside you screams. You don't know why, but you know something's off. You're looking at a mimic, a copy, a skinwalker wearing your loved one's face. Tonight, we're diving into the most disturbing space between real and fake. A place where instincts come alive and logic breaks down. A place called the Uncanny Valley. And by the end, you may start to wonder, in a world full of replicas, how can you ever be sure what's human? There's a moment that happens when you look at something almost human, but not quite. It might be a CGI character, a robot, or even a doll. At first, your brain accepts it. It seems familiar. But as it becomes more realistic, almost perfect, but just slightly wrong, that acceptance turns to dread. Your stomach tightens, your heart skips. Something tells you to back away. This is the Uncanny Valley. The term was coined by Japanese roboticist Masahiro Mori in the 1970s. He noticed that as robots became more human-like, people started liking them more, up to a point. But once the robot got too close to looking real, it suddenly became creepy. That curve of emotional response where comfort drops into discomfort just before something becomes fully human is what Mori called the valley. This fear isn't random. There are theories as to why our brains react this way. One is rooted in survival. Imagine you're in prehistoric times and someone's face looks a bit wrong. Maybe they have pale skin, sunken eyes, or their movement is jerky. That might mean they're sick, or worse, already dead. Your brain evolved to recognize signs of disease. Back then, getting too close to someone ill could mean the end. So humans who were wired to avoid uncanny faces, they lived longer. Another theory suggests we evolved this reaction to avoid imposters. If another species or even another human tried to pretend to be someone they weren't, noticing the smallest off detail could mean the difference between life and death. That weird sense of unease we get, it's a deeply embedded survival tool. Chapter 2: Ancient Dread, Modern Masks. Navajo folklore speaks of skinwalkers, beings that can shapeshift and take on human form. They imitate voices, copy behavior, but there's always something not quite right. A twitch, a wrong word, a smile that doesn't reach the eyes. These stories, passed down for generations, may not be just superstition. They could be cultural memories, warnings, the same instincts that tell us to fear the uncanny may have once protected us from predators that looked like us, maybe still do. You see it echoed in urban legends too. The doppelganger that knocks at your door, the family member who isn't acting quite like themselves. These tales have one thing in common: someone who looks familiar but triggers something primal in the brain. Run. Some evolutionary theorists take this a step further. What if, long ago, humans weren't the only species walking upright? What if there were other hominids, Neanderthals, Denisovans, close to us but not quite the same? Their facial structure was different, their eyes were set deeper, their speech patterns were likely strange. They might have walked among us, hunted alongside us, or even against us. Imagine meeting a Neanderthal in the wild. You wouldn't know the word uncanny, but your brain would know this is not your tribe. Those who got too close, maybe they didn't live to tell the tale, and those who felt fear, they passed that warning on. Today that ancient dread lingers, and it activates every time we see a face that's just barely wrong. Now fast forward to today. The predators aren't in the woods anymore. They're on your screen. In 2025, AI is generating human faces so realistic they can fool your eyes and ears. There are deepfake videos of celebrities endorsing products they've never used, politicians giving speeches they never made, your favorite influencer revealing their entire persona was crafted by code. One Hong Kong company was scammed out of $25 million after an executive was tricked by a deepfake video call. The fake face, the fake voice, all nearly flawless. Almost. And this is just the beginning. Some people have received job offers only to discover the entire hiring process was orchestrated by AI, with fake HR reps, fake Zoom interviews, fake co-workers. As AI enters the workforce, it's no longer just automating tasks, it's impersonating people. And here's where it gets dangerous. The more realistic these AI beings become, the more our uncanny valley instincts are triggered. Because just like those robots in Maury's graph, there's a point where they're too close to human, and yet unmistakably fake. A blink that doesn't quite match the words, a laugh with no soul behind it. You feel it, you pull back. Chapter 3. The mirror blinks first. The uncanny valley is more than just discomfort. It's a fracture line in our ability to trust. Once you know something can be faked, a face, a voice, even a personality, you start to question everything. Studies show people are less likely to trust AI-generated figures, even if they look and sound perfect. And that mistrust extends to others. If you can't tell who is real, how do you form relationships? How do you cooperate? How do you know you're not being manipulated? And some theorists believe this is just the surface, that we are already surrounded by digital infiltrators, bots programmed to sway opinions, fake accounts designed to start arguments, AI-generated personas used for social engineering. If a predator can mimic your friend, your colleague, your partner? How do you fight it? There's something else, something more personal. What happens when the AI clone is you? Right now, programs can mimic your voice after a few seconds of audio. They can recreate your face from a single photo. Soon, your online presence could be copied, your speech patterns replicated, your identity stolen in a way that feels almost supernatural. Some people have already seen AI deepfakes of themselves. They describe the experience as deeply disturbing, like staring into a mirror where the reflection moves first. The uncanny isn't just something you see in others, it's something that can look back at you. Where does this all lead? We are racing toward a world where artificial faces and voices are indistinguishable from real ones, where influencers are AI generated, where digital assistants sound more like your best friend than Siri, and yet, somewhere deep inside, that instinct remains. When something blinks too slow, when the laugh sounds hollow, when the eyes don't connect, you pull away, you freeze. That's the uncanny valley whispering, "This is not real." It's not paranoia, it's protection. We started with a strange smile on a familiar face, a glitch in the human mirror, and we've ended in a world filled with artificial copies, deep fakes, and digital masks. The uncanny valley isn't just a theory, it's your brain's last line of defense, the final alarm in a world of simulations. So the next time something feels off, a voice, a face, a moment of silence too long, don't ignore it, because in a world full of perfect illusions, your fear might be the only real thing left. And maybe that's the scariest part of all, because if the machines are learning to act human, and we're learning to doubt what's real, then maybe the final frontier isn't AI versus humanity. Maybe the final frontier is us, staring into a synthetic mirror and wondering if we still recognize the face looking back.